Hello and welcome back to another video exploring the features in LUNA, the new music software from Universal Audio. Two key features Universal Audio have been advertising in the run-up to the release of this software have been the Oxide Tape Emulation plugin and the Neve Summing console. And today I want to explore the Oxide Tape Machine. Recording to tape has traditionally created a warmer sound than recording digitally, and the idea of this plugin is to emulate that warmth in our digital audio workstations. Now, by using a tape machine emulation plugin, we can add saturation to our signal, depending on how hard we drive the signal, depends on how much the tape will compress the signal, which can lead to distortion, so we can use it in quite a few creative ways to manipulate the sound. We're going to go through some examples on the computer now, some different instruments from a song of mine called I Wish coming out soon, and you can hear how this Oxide plugin affects the sound. To start with, let's listen to the drums. These are fully processed and produced in Logic. So to add the Oxide Tape Machine, we need to go over here and make sure our focus channel strip page is selected. And to do that, we click on View here and make sure Focus is selected. With our channel strip options available, let's click on Tape. I'm going to add plus. And we're going to go to Oxide. And with the Oxide tape, we get a load of presets here with varying degrees of drive into the tape. Now, what you'll notice is if I select one of these, let's go for warm kick sound. There's no processing functionality here. I can't adjust any of the settings. UAD have saved that for the paid versions like the Studer 800. But let's see what we can get on with the free version. I'm going to dial a bit of this in here. So what I'm hearing there is the more I'm driving the signal into the tape machine, the more presence at about 80, 100, 125 is coming up. Now, below that, it seems to lose the frequency range below 80, and keen eyes amongst you will say, yeah, but Ed, you're wearing headphones. I have done this test with my speakers, and that was the result I heard. And with this particular setting, if we go further up, there's a nice saturation on the top end there. Let's try a different preset. Let's go drive overhead heavy without. So straight away, even at -12 saturation, there's a fullness to it. Sounds like it's gluing the sound together a little bit, but for my liking, even at -12, that's too much distortion. And we're destroying the signal there. Oh, and that's absolutely destroying the signal. So next up we have the bass guitar. This was performed by a friend of mine called Stefan Marinov, and a link to his Instagram profile is in the description below. He's a great London session player. Let's have a listen to how he sounds. So at that point, it's basically a distortion unit, and that's far too much. So let's try a more subtle preset. Let's go for electric bass here. Liking that already. Nice bit of growl coming in there, but not overpowering. And that for me is definitely too much. Okay. So when you're boosting it to full there, it becomes unusable. If you want that super saturated, compressed, distorted sound, great. I would maybe use this on a sidechain for something, a backing vocal or sidechain on a snare drum, but I'm definitely not going to use that much saturation on a lead sound. I'd say somewhere around here sounded good. Just a nice bit of warmth and grit. Moving on, let's hear how this Oxide Tape Machine sounds on guitars. I have a guitar track from this section of the song performed by my friend David DeAndrade, who's done a couple of songs for me now, and he is such a good session guitar player, it's ridiculous. And a link to his Instagram account is in the description below if you'd like to hear more of his playing. Let's hear how he sounds. Very full sound. Again, processed with his effects, recorded with mics, no amp emulation or modelling here at all. This is all live. Let's put a tape on it. Let's find electric guitar +3 that's driven quite hard. That's a gritty sound straight away. And Oxide on. So even with this particular preset at -12, it's almost a little bit too much for me. I was really happy with the guitar sound we got in the studio, so I wouldn't be adding this to this channel myself, but it's interesting to hear just how distorted it gets. Getting into metal territory. And the signal there is just destroyed. Super compressed and all the low ends going out of it. So again, as a side chain, this may be useful, but I'm not going to have that that effect on the lead channel, not when the guitars sound so good anyway. And finally, we have the organ solo. I thought this would be a great instrument to try the Oxide Tape Machine on. This solo has been performed by Jez Davies, who plays with Odyssey and writes and produces and does a lot of remote sessions if anyone needs that. Links to his information in the description below as well. Let's hear the organ on its own. Sorry, I had to play the whole solo because I love that. So you can hear a bit of saturation in that signal already, but let's see if we can find an Oxide plugin that works. Let's find a Wurlitzer. It's close enough to a Hammond. So we're getting into Deep Purple territory here, which is wicked. And about here, I feel like the signal's getting totally destroyed. And then it seems to go off a cliff where it just takes so much of the signal out. I'd say it's unusable at that point. But there's a real sweet spot about there with this one. Again, I'm probably not going to use this on my lead sound with that much saturation and distortion, but as a side chain, it could be quite good. Let's find a slightly less aggressive one. Warm Wurlitzer. So you get the idea here. There's a few different presets in this tape machine, and you can hear how just a little bit will really add some flavour and some colour to your tracks, warm things up a bit, but too much will destroy signals, but then you can get creative and use that in different ways. Let's have a listen to one of these presets on the overall mix of the track. This hasn't been mastered, but it's pretty much the final mix. I wish I could wear my... So there's a lovely sweet spot there where the bass and the kick drum start coming out a bit more, and the rest of the signal just gets a little bit of saturation and compression. So let me know if you like this plugin, let me know if you're going to use it, on what instruments, what are your thoughts, is this something you'll use in your mixes? Let me know in the comments below. Hit subscribe if you can, it really does help the channel grow and I can bring you more content on LUNA. Thanks for watching and I will see you very soon.